Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to attempt to answer a question: what happens when you type google.com in your browser? So we will be covering three topics. First one is DNS, second one we will go through network or internet, and the third one, that is the application layer protocols HTTP and HTTPS. Moving to DNS part, first when you type google.com in your browser and hit enter, first it will look into a cache service in your computer. In our case, we have assumed that we are using a Linux computer, and for Linux computers the cache service is name service cache daemon, or that's NSCD. Now if it finds the entry for the domain in this caching daemon, it will get the IP of the domain name. Alright, if it doesn't find, it will move ahead to next part, that is it will try to find an entry in the file called etcresolve.conf. In this file you can manually write the DNS query or the domain name, and next to it you can write the IP, and now this will be passed to name server. Now this name server will be passing all the queries to internet service provider name servers. Alright, now the internet service providers will go through a DNS system which is generally followed. First it will forward to a root domain, that is .com in this case for google.com, and then it will go ahead to find Google in its servers, and after it finally reaches google.com, www.google.com will be found in the zone files of google.com domain name. Next, coming to the network's internet part, now we have got the IP, alright, and we have covered the DNS part. Using DNS resolutions we have got the IPs. Now let's move ahead to network part. The client will try to find if there's a route, let's assume a static route, in its routing table. Alright, so if google.com's IP address is 11.11.11.11, let's assume, it will try to find that if there is any static route already present in its routing table. If not, it will send to a default gateway. Now what would default gateway be? If you are like me sitting on your laptop or computer on a Wi-Fi network, it would be your home router. The next default gateway for your home router would probably be the ISP's routers or modems, and this procedure will keep forwarding until and unless it goes to BGP. And at any point of this time, the default gateway can have a static route to the google.com. Alright, if it finds a static route, it will straight away forward your request, or else it will keep sending to the next default gateway present in its routing table. Alright, now this will happen until the packet reaches internet gateway using border gateway protocol. Alright, now border gateway protocol contains all the IPs assigned by ISPs, so it actually knows how to get to a particular public IP addresses through the routing table. Alright, then BGP will reach the destination network, and there will be a process called three-way TCP handshake. Alright, in this three-way TCP handshake, it basically, the server and the client basically communicates its communication methods and negotiates its rules to what are rules and protocols, how they both are supposed to communicate. We will also cover this in next part as well. The next part is HTTP or HTTPS. Now these are application layer protocols. Alright, now once the three-way handshake is established, the communication will begin. Right. So generally for HTTP traffic, the web server listens on port 80, and for HTTPS traffic, the web server will listen on port 443. Alright, these are standard ports. And let's assume that the web server is running on Apache. Apache is a web server. It's basically a package that can that you install on your computer or servers to run to make it a web server. Alright, and now the next part is communication negotiation. In this part, if the communication is in HTTPS, which in case of Google it would surely be, then their TLS versions, ciphers, compression method, and protocols will be negotiated. Alright. Then the further communication will be carried out in these negotiated protocols only. And let's look at what happens at server side. Alright. Apache uses prefork MPM. MPM stands for multiprocessing modules. Now these are the ways Apache uses to handle the request that come from the client. In Apache's case would be me or you basically. And this MPM can also be switched to worker or event MPM to use thread. By default, the prefork MPM is used, and this is used. And prefork MPM actually utilizes one process per client method. But if you have to use thread, we can allocate multiple threads to multiple clients, and basically saving overhead or resources. And then the server will just send the HTML document or the files, CSS, JS and images to your browser. Now the browser already knows how it is supposed to pass those. Or it will construct the HTML web page, it will load the CSS, it will build the JS, and it will display the images. And that's how you get the web page. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Do let me know in comment section for the feedback.